Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to The Contentment. This is a place where we pull together ideas from the world's creatives to help level up your mind, body, and spirit. And today we're going to talk about the body. In case you didn't know, my name's Hunter and I'm a fully qualified personal trainer. And I have over 8 years of experience in the fitness industry. This is not my work, this is not my job. This is what I'm about and this is what I do. I move and I love it and I am fascinated by the human body. So with that being said, guys, let's get into this video. So, if you didn't know, I made the free movement fundamentals program, which is just like encompassing all of the basic movements that I think we should be doing as humans. Obviously not all of them, but it's just the basic stuff that we should be doing. So, with that being said, this video is going to be all about the set fundamental movements that we should be participating in weekly. No matter what. Our human body is designed to require movement for it to function properly, whether that's the release of chemicals in your brain to actually feel like you enjoy your life, and then also the lubrication of joints and use of muscles and all of these different things that to make up our body are essential. And if you neglect any of them, then you're going to see adverse effects, and that's just the way that it is. I didn't create the rules. This isn't my opinion. This is just the way it is. We have to move for the sake of our body and our brain to optimize the way we are in the world. And that's just facts. I don't really care what people have to say about that. That's just the truth about being a human. And I can only assume if you're watching this, you're a human too. And so the rules also apply to you. So many ways of training just limit your possibilities in the world. Like you train for one specific thing, and that means that you're missing out on all of these other potentially very awesome things. So if you only do strength training, then your endurance will be shitty. If you only do endurance, then you're probably going to be pretty weak. If you only do stretching, then you're going to be flexible and get injured and not actually be able to carry that flexibility over into life in the real world. So in my opinion, which I'm trying to find an approach where I'm collaborating all of my movement knowledge that I've accumulated over the years and trying to piece together how I think it is optimal for humans to move in terms of exercise and prescription and stuff like that. And, you know, long story short, my background's weightlifting, bodybuilding, and then I got into like trying to lift heavier. And then I got into yoga, and now I'm more into like just holistic movement and understanding the way in which the body moves and how to move it. What movements can we unlock? What ways can we move in the world? And it's just so much fun learning to move your body, and there's unlimited potential within this body. It can do so much cool shit. It's like a video game. The more that you practice something, the more that you unlock and you level up and you level up and you level up, and there's no end to it. It's an infinite game. It's so fucking cool. Anyway, I'm going to start this off with one of the coolest quotes of all time by Ido Portal. If you don't know, he's Conor McGregor's movement coach, or was when Conor was at the top winning everything. And his quote is, "If you have a body, you must move. If you have a body, you must move." Just like I said at the start of this video, if you're watching this, then you're probably a human. You've probably got a body, so therefore you must move. And that is just facts. You don't have a choice. If you have a body, you must move. So let's talk about the most basic fundamental movements that we as humans should be doing every week, just so we can maintain some sort of baseline of strength and mobility throughout our entire body. If you do only pushing movements with your chest and shoulders, you're only pushing stuff away, then you're neglecting the pulling muscle groups on your back, and therefore you're going to create a tension because these muscles will get overdeveloped, and you're going to create injury in your body. And that concept applies to your whole entire body. If you're only squatting and never hinging from your hips, then you're going to get knee and hip issues. It's tied in together so tightly. But if you create a system of training that has every movement and you're encompassing all modalities and all ways of moving, then you're going to create just a more pain-free body to experience this life in. So, with that being said, let's check out the movement fundamentals. As you can see on screen here, this is the first one. This is just your basic squat. I'm sure we've all heard of this before. This is just your basic squat. If you want to learn the perfect technique either just copy what I'm doing or flick me a message and we can go over it. But if you're not squatting, you don't have to do it with weight. What are you doing? Second movement. This is a hinge, and you can do hinge holding weights, or you can just do a hinge, poking your bum out, stretching through the hamstrings, pulling back up through the glutes. If you're not hinging, what you doing? Next up is, in my opinion, the most superior leg exercise of all time, if you want to break it down that simply, and that's the lunge. There's so many variations of lunges. Single leg strength, but also it's going to make sure that our body is nice and even and one leg's not getting too strong or stronger than the other. If you're not lunging, good sir, then what are you doing? Should I continue doing this? I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. This is basically just a calf raise, lifting your toes at the end. This, guys, these 4 movements, guys, squat, hinge, lunge, and ankle flexion, extension, and that is going to create a baseline of strength for you that you'll be able to just feel better in your body. Your knees will feel better, your hips will feel better, your body will just work better because you're moving it in the way in which it was designed to. Now, I want to emphasize, this is just the beginning stage. This is the fundamentals, the shit that you should be doing. Let's get into the upper body movement fundamentals, and in my opinion, this is the king of all upper body exercises. The hang, you can do the hang actively or passively. You can just hang relaxed from the bar, or you can brace your core and hang actively. Hanging is important. We evolved from chimpanzees, from monkeys, whatever you want to say. We evolved for our arms to be above us and to be hanging and swinging around from our shoulder. No wonder we all have shoulder issues, because we're not treating them in the way in which they are designed. They are designed to be swung from and hang. And hang. And hang. They're designed to be swung from. If you're not swinging from your shoulders, you are telling your body that you hate it, because it requires hanging for the shoulder to work properly. The most universal exercise on the planet, your push-ups. They are going to cover the front of your body, the front pushing muscle groups. So, based off the philosophy that I said before, the opposite must also be trained. So naturally, we can just think off the top of our head right now, the opposite of these muscle groups that I'm pushing with will be on my back in the same area that I will be pulling with. It can be a horizontal row. You can do this leaning from something, you can do it wherever, you can do it with weights, however you want to do it, with bands, whatever. Just make sure that you balance out all of your push work with equal amounts of pull work. With that same concept, guys, let's tie it into shoulders. So above your head, pushing above your head, that can look like a wall-assisted handstand like this here, or it can look like a shoulder press with a bar or dumbbells or bands. Insanely important to teach your body to raise it overhead. You know, this is like when I was teaching an active aging class with an older population, the most common thing was they couldn't lift their hands above their head. And that's because most of them for the last 30 to 50 years had never even done that, other than to grab something off the shelf for cooking or whatever. If you don't practice doing this, then you're going to lose it, and it's going to be way harder to do, and it's going to cause pain because your body adapts to whatever that you do to it. So if you're not giving it reason to adapt to being up here, then it's not going to let you do it, and especially when you get older and everything gets harder. So you've got your fundamental pushing vertically movement. Then you also need the opposite, which is a pull movement vertically. This is the opposite, opposing muscle groups. This is part of the essential movement fundamentals, a push overhead and a pull overhead. So I want to circle back to hanging, and hanging is without a doubt one of the most important movements that you can do for yourself, but I want to talk about specifically active hanging. Brace your core, and you'll be engaging your core muscles, strengthening your core muscles, and also lining your body up and stretching everything into the position that it needs to be for optimal health. So, hanging passively, relaxed hanging, just letting everything loose, and active hanging. These 6 basic upper body movement fundamentals, your active passive hanging, your push and pull horizontally, your push and pull vertically, those are your movement fundamentals for your upper body. And if you're not doing them, or if you're only doing pushing and no pulling, then it's just a matter of time before you get injured. Our body is a system of adaptation. Whatever you do to it, it will adapt. If you teach it to sit on the couch and do fuck all, it will get really good at doing fuck all. And then when you try to do stuff, it'll be hard because your body will be good at doing fuck all. If you do heaps and heaps of shit, your body will adapt and be able to do heaps and heaps of stuff. It's a system of adaptation. It is beautiful. It is the most incredible system that whatever you do to it, it will adapt. Make sure that you choose the right things to adapt to. Oh man, this shit fires me up if you can't tell. I'm just fucking so hyped right now. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I really love talking about this shit, and I'm probably going to be doing a weekly, if not fortnightly, movement-based video around some stuff. This is the fundamental movements for upper and lower body. Next week or the week after, I'm going to cover the animal flow basics, the basic animal movements that we can do and incorporate into our training. If you want to know more and look into more depth about what I'm talking about right now, then check out the Movement Fundamentals program. I'll link that in the description of this video, and you can check out the program itself. It's 100% free, and it is an amazing resource to learn the movement fundamentals of the human body. Highly recommend checking it out. It's got videos, drop down tabs, you can check out everything. It's amazing content and it's completely free. Check it out. If you think someone would enjoy this video or this free program, let them know, send it to them, tag them, drop a comment, let me know what you thought. Subscribe, come and say hello on TikTok and Instagram and all the other shit. Okay, that'll do it. Thank you guys for tuning into The Contentment. If you cannot tell, I'm fired up as fuck. Things are really good for me at the moment. Life is moving and I feel fired up, motivated, inspired, and I really hope that you learned something from this video. Much love, guys. Let's fucking move our body and let's grow every last drop. Yeah, we'll end it there. Peace, guys.